Euclid, the father of geometry. Euclid was a famous teacher who lived about 2,300 years ago, around 300 BCE. Not much is known about his personal life, but his work has had a huge impact on how we learn about shapes and numbers today. It's thought that Euclid might have studied in a place called Plato's Academy in Athens, a city in Greece. This academy was like a big school where people went to learn about math and talk about big ideas. Euclid wrote a book called The Elements, which is very special because it helped people understand geometry. That's the math of points, lines, shapes like triangles, and much more. This book is split into 13 parts, covering different topics. Books IIV. These parts talk about shapes you see on a flat surface, like squares and triangles. Book Phi. Here, Euclid explains how to compare different quantities using proportions. Book 6. This part uses the ideas from Book Phi and applies them to geometry. Book 7 Nice. These books are all about numbers, especially whole numbers. Book X. This one looks at numbers that can't be written as a simple fraction. Books of Frankfurt. These last parts explore geometry in 3D, like cubes and spheres. Each part of The Elements starts with some basic ideas and rules, then moves on to harder puzzles that Euclid solves step by step. This way of solving problems by starting with basic truths and building on them is what made Euclid's work so powerful. Euclid's way of teaching math was used in schools for a very long time and still affects how subjects are taught today. His book wasn't just about geometry, it also changed how people learn other sciences, like physics and astronomy. Euclid showed that you can solve many problems by thinking logically and following steps based on rules that everyone agrees on. This idea helped people in many different fields, not just in math. Euclid's The Elements has been translated into many languages and used all over the world for hundreds of years. His work helps us understand the world better and solve complex problems. That's why he's known as the father of geometry and why people still study his work today. He taught us that with a few simple rules, you can discover a whole world of shapes and numbers.